All right, you guys, what's going on? It's your boy Town Biz. So, got a special guest in the house. Got the homie from the town, from the Yay area, my boy Cali Enigma, man. What's going on, bro?
Man, what's happening with it, bro?
All right, so we decided to go live. So once again, for the people that keep saying I'm scared to show my face, I'm trying to figure out what I'm scared of. I mean, if you want to, you can come to my house. I promise you,
Nah,
you
bro, you
won't
been
leave the
on
same.
music. I had you on with me before. We
I
was
don't
on
know,
together
man.
on my channel before. You been on Dante's Boxing Nation channel before. I mean, your pictures and shit is out there. It ain't like you been hiding, bro. It be matter of fact, I seen pictures with you and Blue Blood on IG. I seen you with Boxing Eagle on IG. So I'm like,
Yeah.
man, you out there like a motherfucker. It ain't like you been hiding.
Well, if they can come to my house, like I said, I'll promise you they ain't gonna leave the same way. But it is what it is because it's plenty of weapons in this house. But not gonna say what's in here, but it's plenty of weapons in this house. But anyway, I brought you on here because first of all, I wanted to talk about this whole thing with Devin Haney, um, Devin Haney, and failed negotiations with Tank Davis. And basically, it seemed like we headed for another stalemate. Looked like we headed for another episode of it's gonna take hella long to make this fight. And I think nobody wants to go through this again. Nobody don't want Bud versus Errol Spence part two. So with that being said, first of all, like I know you got a chance to see the fight. So what did you think of the fight itself?
Oh man, I think it was a great fight. It was an exciting fight. Um, I think pretty much early on, it's exactly what I predicted. Before the fight, I predicted that Devin Haney would win the fight easily, 11 rounds to 1. Or I said that Regis Parker will be lucky to win a round. It turned out to be exactly what I said it would be. I thought that Devin Haney's his agility and his footwork and his jab would be the difference in the fight. I also thought that his counterpunching ability, his timing would be far superior than Regis Poirier, and everything that I said turned out to be 100% true. Except I didn't predict that Devin would put him on the ground, put him on his ass. You know what I'm saying? And he did that, and that was impressive. And it was a situation where he was catching Regis Poirier leaning in, and Regis Poirier sometimes gets a little heavy on his front foot, starts to lunge a little bit, and Devin popped him. He caught him coming in, so it like compounded the force of the punch and put him on his ass. And Devin was hurting him throughout the fight. And what we're seeing is Devin Haney, a fully healthy Devin Haney is dangerous, very very dangerous. He's faster, he's more athletic, and as you can see, those tough fights that he had early on in his career, and dealing with Lomachenko as well, these fights have made him into a superior fighter. Him going through all the adversity he had to go through has made him a smarter fighter. He's learned from the mistakes that he's made in other fights, and this is what's making at least I would say PBC apprehensive to make the fight with the homie Deb. You know what I'm saying, for the Bay.
Me myself, I thought it would be a little bit more competitive than what it was because it was pretty much a blowout. I mean, actually being there and covering the fight. First of all, just being there, the atmosphere itself, it was a great experience going over to San Francisco and then the Bay making history, basically opening up the Chase Center with the first Combat Sports event, and then it sold out. And I know there were people lying and talking about the event was sold out, and then people was making excuses, barking about how much the ticket prices was, which I thought was pretty weak. When Tank basically put that post up, I just thought it was fake because at the end of the day, a sellout is a sellout, man. It don't matter whether the tickets is 55,000 or $55. At the end of the day, I brought this up. Canelo versus Charlo didn't sell out. Ryan Garcia didn't sell out. And then, back in the day, Tank was selling tickets for dirt cheap. He basically had to earn his way. And then he was part of a good marketing machine. But let me talk about the overall fight. the overall fight, like I said before, Devin improved on a lot of things. He set the record for the least punches landed on an opponent in a championship fight. Regis Prograis broke a record that only stood for like basically pretty much 3 weeks. You know, you had Dos Santos that only landed like 40 punches on Shakur Stevenson. Regis only landed 38 punches. And Devin made Regis look average, and Regis is far from an average fighter. And this is what we mean, guys like me and you that really follow the sport and cover the sport. This is what we mean when we say that there's levels to this shit. And then I think also Devin then got used to fighting southpaws now, and I think he knows how to fight southpaws now. And I think that's another thing that I think possibly what could be possibly going on with Team Davis, because Devin manhandled Regis. Nobody has ever done that to Regis. Regis lost a competitive fight to Josh Taylor. I thought that Regis did enough to get the nod. I think if they had had that fight, probably in the States.
Two of us. I agree. I thought that Regis won that fight against Josh Taylor too. I thought that he edged it out, but I get it. It wasn't a robbery. The fight was close enough. With Josh Taylor winning out, it really didn't bother me. But it's, to me, it should have been a rematch, and Josh Taylor not giving him a rematch tell you everything you need to know about that fight, right?
Well, he don't like giving rematches anyway, because keep in mind, he found a way to get out of the rematch with Jack Catterall, another fight that you can make an argument that he lost. I thought that Jack Catterall,
Jack Catterall flat out beat him. He beat him easier than Regis Prograis did. And to me, that was clearly, I thought it was, you can make a case of being 8 rounds of 4 or something, but Jack Catterall beat him, and he made sure it's a disgrace for that. That dude never ran it back with those 2 close fights that he had, that he got where at least he got the nod. So he definitely should have ran it back with Catterall. And the funny thing is, it wasn't just here in America, but in the UK, Josh Taylor was catching hell because everybody wanted him to run it back with Catterall.
My great brother, what's up with you?
I thought that was crazy, but it was kind of funny. Then Josh Taylor turns around and get whooped on by Teofimo Lopez, a fight that clearly rejuvenated Teofimo Lopez, because it was funny. Teofimo Lopez before that had fought Sander Martin, and you could make an argument that Teofimo Lopez might have lost to Sander Martin, and he was sitting up in between rounds saying, do he still got it? So I find that funny, but you know what they say, styles make fight. So I wanted to get your take of what's been going on so far this week. Now, it came out pretty much yesterday that basically there was an offer after Tank said, make them an offer. Team Davis said, make them an offer. They made him an offer, and the fans kept saying, well, why does Tank have to make an offer? So basically there was an offer, and thank you for providing me that information that the money was going to be coming from the Saudis, who pretty much got unlimited oil money. And basically they offered Tank Davis $20 million, basically just to sign his name on the dotted line, not including basically what he was going to get on the back end, pay-per-views and all that stuff, and endorsements, a lot of different things, the gate, advertising. And a lot of people were puzzled, except for the Tank fans that were making excuse after excuse on why Tank turned down the money. You even had people go as far as to say that the offer was bogus. And I'm trying to figure out, since when do the Saudis have bogus money when they're about to finance pay-per-view in the States, heavyweight extravaganza. This is a extravaganza that's coming this Saturday. I haven't seen nothing like this since the Don King days. So just give me your take on what do you think was going on with the failed negotiations, basically after Team Davis was saying they need to make an offer, and then basically they turn around and turn the shit down. And I also wanted to get your take on some of the people that's out here basically for Team Davis playing basically Fanager, trying to negotiate on behalf of Tank. It seemed like we once again is back at Spence, Crawford part 2, except this is with Haney and Davis. So give us your take, Callie.
We know the money is definitely legit. I mean, 20 million is nothing for them. I mean, it's like
that's
20
like
million
a quarter.
would be
that's like
20 million
that's
for
like,
them is not even a quarter. 20 million for them is like a penny. And we talking about trillionaires. We're talking about people who are trillionaires, not billionaires, not a quarter of a billionaire. I mean, not a quarter of a trillionaire, not a half a trillionaire, trillionaires. These people are rumored to be worth anywhere from 1.4 to $3 trillion.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to figure out. What I mean,
these people don't own GDP.
Leonard Ellaby allegedly said, if the money ain't coming from Al, then they don't want to do it. So if Leonard Ellaby, quote unquote, said that, then Leonard Ellaby is proving that he is full of shit, and that Team Davis is full of shit, and Al Heyman is full of shit. But anyway, go ahead, Callie, break this down. I'm gonna let you cook on this.
Yeah. So the reality is this: look, the Saudis, and this is something that I've read about for years ago. The Saudis have this mindset where they're building towards trying to become like the sports hub of the world. They wanted to buy the best soccer players in the world, best golf players in the world. They're looking to bring tennis there. Basketball is the sport that they want to get into next. They already got in, but they're already into boxing, and they want to look to try to bring all the biggest fights because they want to have the biggest attractions there in Saudi Arabia. And so, yes, they really want to have that fight with Gervonta Tank Davis. It's also a nice investment for them. But Tay Jones was on Drew Titan's live stream today, and he was saying that when he spoke to the Saudis, they were saying that their goal is become the big time tourist hub. And they want to become a big time tourist hub. What they're trying to do that by bringing all the major attractions to their country. Saudi Arabia is considered to be one of the safer countries in the world. They made a lot of changes now. The women are allowed to they're allowed to not have to. Now they don't have to wear burqas anymore. They can show their faces. You can actually see their bodies now. Women also have driver's license now. There was a time when women didn't have driver's license. There's major changes, and they're trying to modernize themselves to the point where people will want to come and not feel intimidated. And so they're pouring a lot of money into that stuff. And any type of big event that they have, they've been known to build big cities or new cities and things of that nature. And everything is up to date. I'm talking about the best facilities in the world. You name it. So I was told today that Deontay Wilder is actually training in one of the Sheikh's compounds, one of his villas. Like they built a gym just for Deontay Wilder to train in, and that's where he was at today. And there was I guess they were supposed to have like allow Anthony Joshua to train there too, but Anthony Joshua was going to go there until he found out Wilder was there, and then he decided he didn't want to be there because apparently he's still afraid of Deontay Wilder. But that's a whole nother subject matter. That's a whole other subject matter. Yeah,
I'm glad you brought that up, because for those who not listening, that's not listening to what me and Callie is trying to explain to you. These people got loan money. Let me tell you how much money they got. Recently, they had a film festival maybe a couple of weeks ago, and basically they paid Will Smith and Gwyneth Paltrow and Johnny Depp over $1 million just to show up. All expenses paid trip. They paid them just to come there and put them in not a 5-star hotel. They put them in like a 10-star hotel or something like that, just to come there and speak. And I was like, that's crazy. I was like, I need to find a way to get out there. I think I need to become a passport, bro. So for the people that's sitting up here trying to play these games and trying to, basically sign up for the, team tank protection program and the team protect Al Heyman. Don't say nothing about, Al Heyman. Y'all looking pretty bad right now. You can't really talk your way out of this or around this. So to try to pull that proof of funds stuff, you do know when they had the last heavyweight event, with Fury and Francis Ngannou, do you know the people that they paid for most of the big time boxers to be there? Do you know they put them in luxury hotels and was gifting them watches? They gave, if I'm not mistaken, they gave Tyson Fury a damn car. They were giving people giving $20,000 watches away just for coming there. So
yeah, they did it again. I was told they're doing it again, and everybody fighting on that card today. Everybody fighting on that card are going to get career high paydays and well over, then in some cases to 15 times what they made in their career. And so everybody, if you've never made $1 million in a fight before, well, you will know. You will now. No one's going to make less than, I think, something like a couple $1 million in this fight. No one. And I'm talking about on that card. If they never made $1 million, you will be a millionaire when you leave. They're making sure that everyone's happy. Everyone's getting the best of everything. And if you want something, they get it to you. They don't send you a little bit of it. Like Tay Jones said that he said that he was eating some I think it was some dates, but everything is that they love cashews there. And so the dates had cashews inside of them, and he said they were good. And so he asked for some, and now they're going to ship him crates of it, crates to his house, crates.
Well, let me
crates of it, just because he only wanted another pack or two, and he said you can't say them no because it's like an insult. So instead of he'll just get a couple of packs, they're about to send him a couple store loads.
So, well, I'm gonna tell you right now. I hope they follow my channel, because the day they pay for the media to come there, I'm about to go get me a passport. Because if they pay for the media to come there and they give me a $10,000-$20,000 watch, first of all, as soon as I get back in the States, that watch is gonna be sold. So, and I'm not selling it on the streets. It's not going on OfferUp. It's not going on. What's the other with Craigslist? Nah, it's going to the shop. I'm talking about it's going to high. It might go to Highline. I'm gonna see what Highline is.
Go to the high-end jewelry store. I'm going to high-end jewelry store and to give it to them. Yeah. Yeah.
So if they start,
I might hold on to it, because there's going to be a bunch of boxing events there, and they may want to ask you, where's your watch? So you might want to hold on to it for a while, because they might invite you back. And the idea is to make enough contacts there where they're going to want to bring you back again and again and again. And maybe they might want to hire you because you know what they do, right? So what they do is they'll hire people, and what they'll want you to do is tweet out how great Saudi Arabia is, and they'll pay you. They've paid people $1 million to tweet out great things about Saudi Arabia for 2-3 months. So you stay here for 2 or 3 months, we'll pay for everything, and we'll make you a millionaire. What you got to do is you got to just talk about how great Saudi Arabia is.
If I have to stay there for 3 months, and I walk out with $1 million, man, fuck this job. So I'm telling you that. I mean, for real. I'm just keeping it a buck. If they say stay out here for 3 months and we'll pay you $1 million, I'll be like, all right, check this out. Here go my bank account number. Wire it to me, direct deposit, cash app to me. If I look and see it's $1 million cash, I ain't even gonna tell the people I quit. I'll just be like, I'll be there. Just send the plane, and I'm there. I'm telling you that right now. And the funny thing was, they sent me basically forms. They sent me credential forms to go cover Fury versus Ngannou. Basically, I should have took my black ass over there, but I was just thinking to myself, well, damn. I mean, I'm doing good, but I ain't doing that good to where basically I could just leave for 3 weeks, and then, it costs a pretty penny for a round trip flight out there. Now, if they do all the expenses paid, yeah, I'm there. if I ain't there, I'm sending somebody there. I'll send one of my. I got like two correspondents that I'll sit out there. But if they say $1 million to come out there for 3 months and they'll pay me, man, fuck this job. I'm out. I ain't even go. I'll just tell everybody. I'll just tell, I'll be like, here, man, I'll wire y'all some money. Y'all will be good for a few months. I'll send my son like 10 racks or something. But yeah. But
they may fuck around and give you like 10 million, 10, 15 million to live there for 12 months.
Yeah, well, I guess I'll be in Saudi Arabia for 12 months. I'll tell these people, well, I'll see y'all in about a year. Hey, what did IQ say on Death Certificate on that song? No, on the first album when he the beginning of the nigga you love to hate, when he say you got any last word? Yeah, I got some last words. Fuck all y'all. I mean, so I'm just saying, but anyway.
No, hold on. Before you finish, just look at this. Neymar, who from Brazilian soccer player, aka football player, right? He signed a 2-year, $400 million contract, and it's also based on commercial deals and with the club. So this dude got a 2-year, $400 million contract to go play in Saudi Arabia. That's what I'm talking about. What kind of deals they're giving out? They've been giving out. Don't forget
that they offered LeBron James. They said they willing to pay LeBron James $1 billion after he retires to come out there and basically help possibly start a new league or something.
Yeah, they're gonna do that. They're gonna pay him. They're gonna be offering Curry and all them niggas. But I'm telling you this right now. In the future, when after the Saudis get their shit off, don't be surprised when the NBA starts to take hits, because they said if you're about to offer me, I'm a rookie contract. I get a little weak ass rookie contract where I'm gonna make around $3 million a year. But Saudi Arabia talking about they're gonna give me $30 million. Motherfucker, fuck your NBA. That's what's gonna end up happening. The NBA gonna be forced to pay better. I don't think the NBA can't afford to keep up with what the Saudis can offer. And the Saudis, I'm telling you, their goal is, and the NBA probably may get an offer to get on board. Like, your NBA championships will no longer be held in America; they'll be held here. We'll pay you to hold them here, and they'll probably pay astronomical numbers for the NBA finals. Yeah, I can see the shit like that happen. I'm trying to tell you, man, the future is gonna be there, man. I've been watching them build towards it. They're pouring a shit ton of money because they got unlimited supply of money, right? And they're also, but the ideal is that because the world is starting to move away from oil money, they're planning ahead of time. So they want to have a diversified society where they won't have to just rely on oil money. So they'll have all that money have all this money generated from oil money, but they'll also have different types of industries and careers where they won't have to rely on anymore. And it's smart. They're making a shit ton of investments into other avenues. This is why I'm trying to tell all these folks talking about that you want to stay in America. You ain't gonna stay in America. The money is in Saudi Arabia. Eddie Hearn figured this shit out a long time ago. Say what you want. Look, I used to have I had my issues with Eddie Hearn, and dude was capping on all kind of shit. But the dude was smart to go hook up with the Saudis. There's too much fucking money over there. I'm sorry. He found somebody with a bigger bag. He wouldn't found a bigger bag in Saudi Arabia. And I'm sorry, but the money here, we used to talk about the UK, but they make the gap between us and the UK is a lot closer than it is between us and Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia got more money. Sorry, they just do.
Yeah, and one thing about them, they really, unlike T.I. and all these other people talking about, they really stand on business. When they say we need a new stadium built, they build it, and it ain't none of this. If they say they need it built in 2 weeks, it get built in 2 weeks. It's none of this stuff that they do out here. Oh man, we ran into some technicalities. We couldn't get clearance from these people. Well, they still got some of their old school policies too about Now they still ain't modernized as far as work labor go. Because I know out there they got people sometimes that work like literally 24 hours. So I mean, but
yeah, they catching up, but they also understanding that they're gonna say they got to get rid of a lot of like the changes they made. So there was a time where I'm seeing in the comments that you got the sister Tania Marie, she from the town, right? You already know that, but you see she wrenched up, right? So there was a time where she couldn't go over there because she would have to be all dressed up. But she could go over there, but she'd have to be all dressed up. Well, that changed. That's changed now. So she can go over there. I mean, you can't go over there and be like super crazy though. You know what I mean? Like, but you can actually you can wear a short sleeve shirt. It's hot out there, shit, right? You can wear a short sleeve shirt and wear like shorts and shit like that and be cool. You can't just go out there and just be like where some of the women in this country dress, but she can be comfortable, you know what I mean, and not be getting burnt up. They're changing. They're continuing to come around. Remember, it's still a Muslim nation, right? So you still got to be somewhat respectful. But yeah, their goal is to try to attract people from around the world. They're not trying to be cut off and limited because their country was intimidating. That country was intimidating. The idea that you go there and you worried about these things happening, they had a better reputation in the past, and the current prince who's taking over, he has a completely different vision, and he knows long term that relying on oil money is not where it's at. The world is moving towards electric vehicles, e-vehicles, and so they have to come up with different types of industries, and tourism is going to be a big factor there, and it's smart. If you become the entertainment capital of the world, then people from around the world are going to have to travel to come see you. So the idea is going to have Formula One's going to be there. You're going to have boxing there. You're going to have golf there, tennis there, soccer there, maybe and probably an NBA. Wouldn't even surprise me eventually they try to get to the NFL, Major League Baseball, and other sports. I know they have cricket there as well. So the sports, the top sports around the world
already. So they already have. They have already tackled MMA. They've already visited the MMA realm. So why wouldn't they visit boxing? And I think based off, like I said, they got bread. They can make. I'm like this, man. If you turn down, like, if they offer you $50 million to fight somebody and you still don't want to do it, something is really wrong with you. And then that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Like, if they offer you money to come out there and fight, why would you be worried about any type of stipulations and all this kind of stuff? Because I wanted to ask you about some of the tactics that you think possibly Team Davis could be trying to pull with Team Haney in order to try to make that fight happen. Because I feel like they're going to try to handicap Devin. And me, myself, I've had conversations with Bill, and I feel like don't let Al Heyman and the PBC basically pimp you and have you looking like Ethiopian of the Year, or as you said, Michael Jackson from the Thriller video, basically, just to get a fight.
Yeah, that's exactly what they got, what their plans are. If Devin doesn't look like he's dying, he's not getting the fight. That's the goal. I was talking to people who's still leaving comments on some of my videos, and they're like, "No, there's no way he should fight his big ass. This dude's a super middleweight. It's not fair." I said, "Well, how about we do something like this?" I would say for Dev, in order to stay healthy and stuff, to me, I think long term, I would give Tank 80%. Because I really believe I'm gonna beat his ass. I give Tank 80, I take 20. And because once you beat him, just like you kind of you taking that position, right? The goal is to take his position, and then you become the A side in every fight, and then you never have to worry about that again. But I don't think they'll do that. I don't think Tank will, even for 80-20. I don't think they'll do it because the ideal is they want to continue to scam the public.
And tell them what you mean by scam the public, because I want you to cook, and I want you to explain this indefinitely for some of these people that don't understand simple English. And you don't have to do it in layman's term. I mean, you could do it in Forrest Gump terminology if they don't understand. So I mean, there you have it.
Continue to fight these low IQ, flat-footed Latino fighters. And that's the plan. While I'm building these dudes up, acting like that they're this big threat to Tank when they're not. They know that Tank will knock these motherfuckers out because they're too aggressive. They're gonna run into something eventually. It may not happen in the first round, may not happen in the third, fourth, fifth, but I promise you, within 10 rounds, they'll run into it and the fight will be over. And so they got to keep that. They got to keep putting those type of fighters in there. Like I told you before, we're thinking about, Isak Cruz, but we saw punk ass little B Hop got his ass whooped last night, which was great. I can't stand, dude. I can't stand his old goofy ass. So I was happy he got knocked out, but I think that one guy that Tank may fight is Jose Valenzuela. Jose Valenzuela would be someone that I could see Tank fighting. Once again, flat-footed dude, very aggressive, more than likely a little bit chinny. Somebody more than likely run into one of Tank's straight left hands uppercut. These dudes are all tailor-made for him, and that's what PBC wants to continue to put him in the ring with. They don't want to put him with anybody like that that has any type of footwork because Tank may not be able to deal with that because they haven't been putting him in the ring with somebody like that. So, yeah, those are the kind of fighters that Tank likes, and I was pretty sure that they were happy to see Chris Colbert, but I believe they would have fought the winner of that fight. Chris Colbert is not a real threat. He's somebody that Tank Davis could have knocked out anyway. And even though he's a quote-unquote slick black fighter, but he's not one of the top level ones. He's a guy that makes mistakes as far as staying on the ropes too much, staying in the pocket too long, and he don't have any punching power on top of that too. So Tank wouldn't have respected his punching power, and Tank would have eventually cut him off and knocked him out. And so they probably would have fought that brother just to try to kill the quote unquote narrative that he don't fight black fighters when he really don't. He's gonna fight some dude who's lightweight bummy, and that would be Chris Colbert.
Yeah, and let me break that down too for the people that don't understand what me and Kelly mean by black fighters. Now, what they try to do is try to pull the wool from under you by trying to say, well, he fought Garcia and he fought Rolly, so that really means that's not true about him fighting, black fighters. When technically, if you want to get technical, if you want to dig deep, I mean, a lot of times, in most cases, Dominicans, no matter how dark they are, they don't like to be called black. I've seen several videos where they detest being called black. They do not want to be called black. So we could kill that noise right then and there. Now, as far as Rolly go, yeah, Rolly has a black mother. I've met his mother. She's a light-skinned black lady. But once again, Rolly has a Spanish last name. So once again, you still, if you wanted to categorize him, you still would have to list him under Hispanic or Latino. So technically, once again, yeah, Tank may be fighting fighters with melanin in him, but he's not fighting American-born black slick fighters. So they try to fool you by trying to pull that kind of stuff. And I've been seeing this trick with the PBC for a while. And guys like me and you, we tried to ignore it. We tried to overlook some of Al Heyman's tactics. But at the end of the day, it's the Mayweather blueprint that he basically gave to Tank. Basically, fight somebody that you can beat, sell it as a possible competitive fight, and then when it really isn't a competitive fight. Let me explain something to you. Most of us with common sense know, had he not messed up his arm, he would probably knock Cruz out within probably 6 rounds, because Cruz comes straight forward and Tank only had one good hand. I mean, Cruz uses the high guard. Tank would have usually hit him with a body shot, open him up, and then probably would have slept him. Now, one thing about Tank, for the most part, he can initiate offense, but Tank, to me, you look at most of his fight, Tank is more of a counter puncher. Yep. So that's why I think a Devin Haney fight would be intriguing. I think eventually, after a while, Devin could be waited out, and then Tank could wait it out. But then I think eventually Devin could probably set some traps for Tank to get him to come forward and walk into something. And I think Devin, like I said, Devin is proven that he could fight southpaws. I think the difference is people are just saying Tank alone, his power. But to be honest with you, watching Devin, I think Devin he's a $6 million man now, bigger, stronger, faster. And I think I told you this a long time ago. I said once Devin started to move up in weight, you would see his power develop. And I still don't think Devin has fully grown into his body. I think once he reached
he gonna
26,
hit hard, he gonna hit heavier at welterweight.
Yeah. And I think you're gonna start seeing some stoppages with Devin, because I watched the Regis Prograis fight. Bill told us that he basically said he didn't want Devin to stop it, because I saw the stoppage. It was there. There were times in that fight where they looked like
he could have stopped him within 6 rounds, bro. I saw that shit. He could have stopped him within 6.
But I'm glad that you broke down the formula, and I just wanted to add to it. But tell them the formula. The formula, so everybody can understand what we're talking about, the PBC formula with most of their fighters. What Al Heyman likes to do. You know, how he pushes tell them.
Latinos all day, bro. PBC, you would think it would stand for like protecting, black people. Black, you think you're protecting black or something, but it ain't that.
Yeah, it's Tango El Gato Los Poniones, like Mark Lloyd said. Yeah, so you know whatever that means, but yeah, go ahead. And then I also want you to break down the stuff you said about Canelo too. Make the Canelo Floyd Mayweather comparison, because this is something that people really need to understand. See, me and Callie, we know what the fuck we be talking about. We don't sugarcoat stuff, and we don't give you that saturated BS that a lot of these do. But I'm gonna let you cook. Talk about the PBC plan, and then talk about how Canelo followed the Floyd blueprint, only in reverse. So break it down.
Yeah, PBC stands for Pro Brown. That's what it really stands for.
Yeah, Pro Brown champions. Yeah.
Yep, Pro Brown champions, absolutely. Pro Brown champions. Don't have nothing to do with us.
Hey, Callie, you just gave somebody a free trademark, man. So yeah, but I swear to God,
it definitely ain't pro-black.
I swear, if I see y'all use some of Callie's lingo, we know where it came from. So we know where. Yeah, Pro Brown champions. Yeah,
you know what it is. So, earlier today, I played a clip of Juan Manuel Marquez, right? On my channel, you know what I'm saying? Because I can understand Spanish, right? I'm still getting better with speaking it, but I can speak some of it, you know what I'm saying? My ex-girlfriend was from Nicaragua, Bluefields, Nicaragua. She's Afro-Latina, Afro-Nicaraguan, and I'm not talking about light skin. She dark skinned sister, chocolate sister, right? She Afro-Caribbean. She speak with a Caribbean, and she said, "Yeah, bad style, boy," but she also speaks Spanish, right? So, anyways, though, what I'm talking about is listening to Juan Manuel Marquez, right? And he was talking about how Canelo Alvarez, there was asked if he was like, is he like the best Mexican champion? He's someone that, be proud of, right? And he was like, no, he's not. He's someone who really doesn't like to fight people at their best. This dude puts rehydration clauses on people. He said that they're not, fighting on an equal playing field. It's like, oh man. And the dude who posted that shit, he didn't understand what the fuck he said. So I told him exactly what he said. And it's like, man, how you gonna post some shit you don't understand what the fuck they saying, bro? Come on, man, learn Spanish. Yeah, so basically people in the chat room was calling him a hater and shit like that. Like, man, no, he's telling the truth. Canelo Alvarez did do catch weights and rehydration clauses. Remember 155. Everybody forget about the 155 weight class that doesn't exist. We called it the Canelo weight, right? And Canelo will put a rehydration clause on Rocky motherfucking Fielding. Bum ass Rocky Fielding. He put a rehydration clause on. So this dude has always been doing this fuck shit. And Juan Marquez has recognized that shit, and he's telling the truth. And so Canelo got some of that because Floyd did some of this catch weight shit. I don't think he's never did a rehydration clause, but he did the catch weight shit, right? But Manny Pacquiao did the catch weights with the rehydration clause. Remember when he fought what's his name again? You know what I'm talking about again. Puerto Rican homie, Miguel Cotto. When he fought Cotto, he put a rehydration clause and a goddamn a weight, and he fought at a catch weight. He fought at a catch weight with a rehydration clause, and he was fucking weak as shit. And Pacquiao beat the shit out of him, and everybody still looks at that shit as a credible victory. And that shit needed to be stopped a long time ago. And yeah, we need to stop. And all these fans now are okay with rehydration clauses and catch weights because that bullshit was going on. And I agree with Devin that this shit needs to die. You don't want, if you can't beat somebody at 100%, if they were able to make the weight and they blown up bigger than you, then you shouldn't want to fight them. Then stop. What the fuck you being a fighter for? It's not healthy for fighters to not be able to rehydrate back fully. To restrict their rehydration weight makes them weaker. It actually reduces their stamina and makes them more susceptible to get a concussion. It decreases their punch resistance. And I try to explain this to people, and people don't understand it because they don't understand biology, because these people never read anything in science. These people only pay attention to sports a little bit. But most of these people don't understand anything about their politicians or anything like that. To me, I'm one of those people who actually study science, has spoken with people in the scientific community, whether it's with biology, virology, genealogy, like professors in genetic and population science. So I dig into a little bit of everything. I dig into history as well. I study history very, very well, especially the history of West Africa, the history of the transatlantic slave trade, the history of the trans-Saharan slave trade as well, and the history of the Americas, right? So I study all this type of shit on top of the science shit. So when I'm talking about biology, evolutionary biology, I understand how detrimental it is for a fighter to not be able to rehydrate back up to their full capacity, and for folks to want to restrict that, it tells you how ignorant folks are and how long they've been used to fighters cheating. To me, it's cheating when you're putting trying to make a fighter fight at a catch weight and with the rehydration clause. You're fucking cheating. You are, because you're not allowed them to rehydrate back up to something that allows them to be themselves, to fully be themselves. Like I said, when Canelo, when he's bigger than the guy, his opponent, no rehydration clause, no catch weight. When he's smaller than the guy, catch weight, rehydration clause. Just tired of that shit. He's not the only one doing it though. Tank's doing it. We saw Floyd do the shit, and we seen Manny Pacquiao do that shit as well. And you saw those fighters were not at full capacity. And people just talk about those fights like they just won those fights straight up. No, they was on some bullshit.
Yeah, and I understand that too, as well as anybody. And this is what I was trying to tell people when I was doing my live streams. Well, first of all, like I said before, why are you worried about that? And this is why I laugh at these people when they have these talk about these sparring conspiracies, because I call them conspiracies, because at the end of the day, they come across as conspiracies. Because basically, here's the thing: you call yourself Tank Davis, and you know what a tank is supposed to do. So at the end of the day, well, why are you worried about somebody's weight when you see Leonard Ellaby, aka Sir Nose, talking about, well, Tank is dropping heavyweights and dropping cruiserweights and dropping 500-pound wrestlers and all this kind of stuff. So if that's the case and you're doing that, then why should it matter what weight Devin Haney comes in at? Why are you trying to control his weight? Because at the end of the day, you're not going. Listen, I understand catch weights and all that kind of stuff. I've never been fond of the catch weight fights, but when you put a rehydration clause where basically you telling the dude he can't gain no more than this amount in order to make a fight, and if I'm Devin Haney, I'm not doing it. And from what I was told by Team Haney, they are not about to be pimped by Al Heyman and Tank into basically starving themselves and weight draining themselves and basically being tired in the fight, basically wearing down in the later rounds till basically that could set up a knockout possibly for Tank. Because a lot of people just don't be wanting to hear the truth about catch weights and all this kind of stuff. Rehydration is trash. I've never cared for it. I never liked it, and I think it is BS. And you can make an argument that it is a form of cheating, and a lot of these guys shouldn't get full credit. But then Canelo, like I said, I've been saying this for years that Canelo is a weight pimp. He is truly the Goldie of weight pimping. You know what I'm saying? He's Goldie from the Mac. The only thing he's missing is a fur coat. You know what I'm saying? And some diamond rings and a cane, because he is straight up a weight pimp. And then when he gets these knockouts, then you got people talking about how sensational he is. Now, Floyd did fight Canelo at a catch weight, and he fought Cotto at a catch weight, but Floyd didn't put a rehydration clause. Now, for the people that's sitting up here, I need to educate you guys on something. For the people that's sitting up here crying about Devin rehydrating 25 pounds, which we don't even have really significant proof. That's just a rumor, because I haven't heard anybody from the Athletic State Commission basically say how much Devin rehydrated to.
I believe it, bro.
If he did, here's the thing. So what? Canelo rehydrate to almost 180 pounds versus Floyd?
No, but I was going to tell you that Josh Taylor rehydrated up 23 pounds against Teofimo Lopez. He was 163.
Exactly, and Teofimo whooped on him. So
and really should have stopped him. Should have stopped Josh Taylor. Really, be honest with you.
Yeah, so that's the point that I'm trying to make. So if you feel like, I'm gonna do Buddy dirty, as you saying, why the hell does weight rehydration make any of the issue? Why should it be an issue? If you say you the Tank, you supposed to be able to fight like a tank and basically do them like a tank, which is seek and destroy and do damage. Why do you need to have him at a certain weight for you to be able to call yourself and prove that you a tank? A tank don't be worried about how much something weight. When you launch those missiles out of the tank, or the other form of a tank is a battling ram, well, you there to do damage. If that battling ram coming through the neighborhood to basically, tear down those trap houses, well, they're not worried about the gate, because it's supposed to go through the gate. And if you send a tank in to basically help fight against terrorists or whatever the case may be, the enemy, well, once again, there's no limitations on tanks. They are weapons of destruction, not mass destruction, but they are weapons of destruction. So once again, why are you worried about how much somebody weighed if you call yourself Tank Davis? You're supposed to be able to tank somebody, yes or no? Either you tank or you paper tank. Or you the toy tank that's made out of that cheap plastic that you used to get at the 99-cent store for 99 cents. Yes or no?
They treat this boy, they treat this man like a baby. This nigga gonna be 30 years old in November. I mean, just doesn't make any sense, bro. Dude gonna be 30 in November. He not a young man no more. Matter of fact, when you turn 30 like that, and somebody as small as him, he's actually on the wrong side. That's when you're on the wrong side of 30, and you're about to begin your descend out of your prime. So you would want to fight one of these dudes a lot sooner than later. You don't want to be 32 at your size trying to fight these dudes, knowing earlier in your career you didn't live the fighter's lifestyle. early in your career, you were drinking, you were blowing up heavy in between fights. You know, you mad because you said you didn't give a fuck about living a fight. You had to have all these fat camps and shit. But now you finally figured it out. But who knows how much damage you did to your body long term during that time. You had to have all those fat camps. I'm just saying, Devin Haney's never been in this situation where he's had to have fat camps. He stays in the gym. And that's why he's been steadily getting better. And he hasn't had to deal with this other shit like some of these other dudes because the other fighters haven't been living the fighter's lifestyle. Dev has. You don't hear about none of this drama coming out about him that you see about these other dudes. But Dev just stays in the gym, keeps his head down, keeps grinding, trying to make the biggest fights. And a lot of dudes hated him anyway. But at the end of the day, he's proven his point. He's proven his point because, like I said, Devin Haney, like I said, he lives the fighter's lifestyle. He trained. He's constantly training. He's working with different trainers on a regular basis, trying to pick up new things. Like he was working with Freddie Roach for the fight with Regis Prograis. And, you know, when he's working with Freddie Roach right there, just trying to master that right hand. Like there's things that every trainer can actually teach you that they can teach you new things as far as defense, as far as offense. So I like the fact that they're bouncing around from different trainer to trainer, trying to improve his skill set, if you can, try to add more tools to the toolbox. And yeah, man, to me, I think working with Freddie Roach, the one thing he does is not a defensive wizard, but he does help you improve your offense. What he does, he can help you become a sharper puncher. And I like what Freddie Roach, what they were doing with Freddie Roach. Freddie Roach was actually helping him. He helped him sit down on his punches better. I think that for the most part, Devin Haney didn't really know how to sit down on his punches and generate more power. And I think working with Freddie Roach will definitely show you how to do that. That's what he's good at.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you one last question because I got to get your opinion on this. We gonna dip to another subject, but it's boxing related. So, you know, Clarissa Shields, who's just over the past year and a half has just became very annoying and to the point to where she's very unlikable now because of her desire, which she's going to fail miserably if she ever tries to get a actual boxing match sanctioned with a real fighter, because me and you both know what the outcome will be. She has no chance versus Keith Thurman. She will die if she tries to fight Triple G. She will literally die. She has no chance versus Sean Porter. She has no chance versus. Yeah,
Broly's a killer too.
Yeah,
you know, Broly's gonna crack, bro. Broly's gonna crack.
So I wanted to ask your opinion of her basically spazzing out on everybody because a video basically proved what a lot of us had been thinking, which basically it was, you know, it solidified what most of us was thinking. And that was just what you would call a run-of-the-mill fighter. And basically the dude pretty much, according to her, it didn't happen, but we all seen the footage. She didn't get up immediately, and she's threatening to sue people if we label the video she got slept. But she got knocked down, and then she stayed on the campus. To me, if you stay on the campus longer than 2 seconds, to me, you've been knocked out. And if you would have started a count, she wouldn't even have made an 8 count. To me, she got knocked out, and she just need to suck it up. But I just wanted to get your opinion on Clarissa Shields basically spazzing out at everybody and her delusion of
he didn't even hit her with full force. And you know that dude that she's talking about, Rolly's already knocked him the fuck out, and that dude don't even fight anymore. And so, like, you got beat up by a dude who was basically what we call a low-level bum. He knocked you out. So you can't fight any elite level dude. She was trying to compare us. He said, Rollies, you can't do nothing with me. And I'm like Shakur. No, you're not like Shakur. You're not. You're not. If you fight any type of decent dude, they're going to beat your ass. I mean, Clarissa's not very big. She's not. She's a woman. And there's nothing
I've
wrong with it.
seen.
As far as women boxers, you are the greatest woman boxer ever. I was watching Shadeja Green fight Franchon Cruz, and I'm watching. Said neither one of them can do anything with Clarissa. Neither one of them. So I'm looking forward to her and Alicia Baumgartner potentially fighting at 154 because I don't think she can make 147. Shout out to my main event Mark. I would like to see them fight at 154 and see what Alicia Baumgartner can do because, I don't think anybody else had a chance to be competitive with her. She's just superior to all the other females, but she seems to want to compare herself to a guy. You're not. There's no comparison with you and the guy. You're not strong enough. A man can hit you and really crack your skull. So you're not on the same level. And in her mind, she believes that because I got video of her sparring, man. She's trying to go hard, and they're just working with her. They're not hitting her with any type of force. And in her mind, she's thinking that she could take punches and shit like that. No, you cannot. I was told that she sparred.
She got dropped with head. She got dropped with headgear on, and she was badly hurt. Can you imagine if she actually has a fight? I don't think that. To be honest with you, you've seen what happened to. What was this around 40 years ago when a lady? She was a female boxer. She tried to fight like a run-of-the-mill Muay Thai fighter, and she got slept. Yep. Now I'm talking about she got knocked out cold, and I don't want to see that happen to Clarissa Shields because, like it or not, she still is a black woman, even though she didn't went out of her way. Yeah, she didn't went out of her way to just basically disrespect and emasculate black men. The funny thing is, she blames men for everything that's went wrong in her career. But here's the thing: what do you think? What gender do you think? Yeah. Who's your fan base, man? And who helped get you to where you are? I didn't see no female trainer working with Clarissa Shields, so I'm trying to figure out you wouldn't even be where you are if it wasn't for men. So you sound kind of ridiculous.
Her fan base is like 90% guys, black men. Her fan base is 90% men. It's the most ridiculous thing going on right now. She's insane, and she has an infatuation that she can beat men because men aren't punching her with full force. But she said she was sparring Earl Spence Jr. and she couldn't have punched through his high guard, and she was trying to go hard on him, and he started to raise his punching power, and then she started acting normal after that. It's like, dude, all of them dudes can do that to you, Clarissa. All of them, not some of them. All of them can do that. All those men can raise their punching power if they want to. They don't have to hit you at anything more than 35%, it'll knock your ass the fuck out. So you need to chill the fuck out.
I found that absurd because she also said, I don't know which media outlet she said this to, which showed me that she possibly already suffering from brain damage and that she may need to go lay on that couch. She says that she believes that 98% of men cannot beat her in a fight. First of all, if Clarissa Shields went out, she only has 2 knockouts, and she need to understand she can't sit up there and have that mentality. Because what happens if she goes somewhere and somebody doesn't recognize her? Because these dudes, some dudes ain't gonna care whether she a woman or not, and I don't want to see her or hear about her getting leveled. And I'm worried about that, and I'm concerned because at the end of the day, she still is a black woman, and I don't want to see that happen to her. But I got a feeling, and I hate to say this, and I'm not trying to manifest it, but I think if somebody don't really sit her down and rationalize with her, you could possibly hear about that happening. She's already spazzing out basically over a video coming out because her ego is hurt, which I don't understand why her ego is hurt. She needs to set reality. Like I said before, she could beat most men in a street fight. Right. You only got 2 knockouts. So like I said, once again, and that's against women. So what makes you think you can do anything like with a man? Like, for real. What makes you think that first of all, she can't beat, like I said, she can't even beat 30% of all the men on planet Earth. I'm talking about, for real. She can't.
Well, you know what a regular man would just do to her? It's like, look, You really ain't got no takedown defense. I'm just gonna shoot your legs, take you to the ground, and I'm gonna overpower you. And then after that, I'm gonna ground and pound you to fight with me. But I wouldn't even want a man to fucking hit her. But I mean, she's gonna get some act right. She fucking around with one of them Russians. Them Russians would fucking 1-2 her and put her on her ass, or just put her straight to sleep and wouldn't give a fuck. There are men out here who won't give a fuck and knock her the fuck out.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember, but everybody saw this video. This came out last year. And speaking of Russian, it was this video where basically this lady, she was at some kind of bar and she started to argue with this Russian dude. So she walked over there and she slapped the dude, and the dude slapped her back. This lady did like a Tasmanian devil spin, fell against the bar stool, hit her head, and you could tell she was literally seeing stars. And then the dude called her, "You stupid bum." And I was like, she did like the Tasmanian devil. So this is what we trying to explain to Clarissa Shields. Do I need to send her that footage saying this might possibly happen to you? I thought about dude hit her so hard she did a Tasmanian devil spin and hit her head up against the bar, and she was looking like, well, let me get me an apron and start baking cookies, because I don't think she gonna ever hurt. But I hated to see that happen to her. But at the end of the day, she had no business running up on that dude. And that's what I'm trying to explain to Clarissa Shields. I don't want her to run across, as quote unquote, we used to say, the right one.
Right.
Because
she was just talking about, she said that she can said she would, and she'll be more than competitive, potentially drop Triple G. How the fuck you gonna drop Triple G? And no man could. But you gonna drop him though. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? It's just like Triple G, you can't stand up to Triple G's punching power. I saw Triple G hit a fighter on the top of the head and knock him the fuck out. On the top of the head. Yeah, that motherfucker got real punching power. You ain't gonna hold up to that shit. That motherfucker can hit you at, like I said, 30% and knock you the fuck out.
You do remember the Curtis Stevens fight. You remember that
shit out of him, man.
So, and I'm just saying, and you seen what David Lemieux did to him. So that's what we trying to explain to Clarissa Shields. And those dudes were badly hurt. Like I said before, Clarissa Shields, I think this is why I think no sanctioned body would ever sanction a cross-gender match, because in all likelihood we know it would lead to disaster, and anybody that would entertain it would be a no-win situation. You know, this is I mean, she's past what Ronda Rousey was trying to do when Ronda Rousey was just calling out Floyd Mayweather. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I think Ronda Rousey wanted to give Floyd the draws. And she just didn't know about it. That's what I think it was. I think she was trying to give him some draws, and she just didn't know how to go about action. And but she went about, because you remember when we was in school, when that girl will always be messing with you and stuff. Be like, be like, why this girl always messing with me? Why she took my damn chocolate milk and ran off with it? So you be like, man, why she took my now later? Like, what she and it was the best one. It was, you remember the yellow and purple now laters? Yeah, and the girl that just said, she like, let me get one now later. She just take the whole damn pack. Like, what? And you just be like, what just happened?
By the way, I was a green 9-later guy myself. Green and Apple 9-later was the best of me. Apple and grape.
Yeah. Or you remember how we used to go to school? Because I went to Garfield. Remember how we'd go to school with the Kool-Aid packages, mix the Kool-Aid with sugar. Boy, you would start your diabetes process right there. You know how you would take the Kool-Aid, you wouldn't even make Kool-Aid out of it. You would just put the sugar in there, put it in a Ziploc bag and shake it up and just, oh my God.
Yeah, you ate it just like that. You ain't never lied, bro.
Yeah. So for some of y'all,
the corner store, the corner store candy hit different though. Corner store candy hit way different.
Yeah. So we trying to help our sister Clarissa Shields, because we really trying to literally save her life. or at least save her brain, because I don't know, maybe, I don't know. Like I said, maybe she didn't drunk some of that bad Flint water, that rusty orange Flint water, and maybe maybe that affected her brain somewhat, because she seriously got some issues going inside her head. Because
Well,
I don't want
let's
to.
see what happens with her, and let's see. I hope that her and Alicia Baumgartner fight. Two very attractive, to me. Freshman with Clarissa, I think Clarissa fine. I do. I think Clarissa fine. Alicia Baumgartner fine too. I think she's a very attractive sister, but she just, I don't know what the fuck she is on. She's on you men this, you men that. What the fuck does that shit come from?
I kind of have
What
an
are you
idea
coming with this
because
feminist bullshit? I don't want to hear it.
well, it was what our dear brother Kevin Samuels, rest in peace. Because Clarissa Shields, she alone now. So allegedly, I don't want to get too deep into her personal life, but I don't want her to go through the Cat Chronicles. Also, I don't know what's going on with her, but like I said before, I don't want to get too deep in her business and her personal life. But I'll just say this much: we just want her to fall back before she falls permanently. So
right.
With that, yeah. So with that being said, hey, Callie, I appreciate you coming on here. I'm definitely gonna bring you back because I got to get up in a few hours and go to work. But we just wanted to show y'all that Bay Area connection because we connected out here. So we both from East Oakland. Callie from deep East Oakland, though. I'm from just regular East Oakland.
Yeah, you know it is, man. Back in the days of the Muslim bakery, Scotty's, you know what I'm saying, like that, going to the Durant Square and everything like that, man. My grandma used to play bingo up there, bingo at Durant Square. So, but I was talking the other day to this dude, OG from East Oakland, man. Cause we drove by the Evergreen Cemetery, right? And I was talking about, I said, hey, remember when Eastmont Mall, when it was actually a mall and they had like Mervis and JC Penney's and shit up in that motherfucker? remember when it was actually a mall, you can actually go in there and get shit up out of there. And I'm like literally do like real shopping in Eastmont Mall. I'm talking about Eastmont before they put all the police stations and everything up there. It used to be like a real mall. And remember they used to have all the remember we used to have jukebox as far as like music. I was just talking about the 80s.
Yeah. Well, remember also the Eastmont Mall was also a hub for the sideshow, because remember we used to park there when we got tired of riding up and down Bancroft or Foothill.
Bancroft like that. That was where all the sideshows used to start. Because I remember back in the 90s too. My cousin's friend used to work at that McDonald's over there, and we used to get like the hookup with all the fries and shit like that. Free shit. He would just start throwing all kind of shit up in there.
Is you talking about when the McDonald's was across the street from the Eastmont Mall, or when it got put in the Eastmont Mall?
No, when it was across the street. When it was right across the street.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was I remember the last time it was over, it was like, I think it was like 97 or some shit like that, I believe. Sometime around then. Yeah, when they had that shit right there. Those were good old days. Because I remember they were like 96, 90. I remember 90, 95, 96 at the festival at the lake. I remember like 90. I think it closed in like 97, 98. And because I remember meeting the E40 rap group the Mossy, right? Remember the Mossy?
Of course.
Right, so they was up there, right? They said, "I got white girl for sale. I got white girl." Right? They was up there too, man. Niggas just get mad over everything over there, man. Niggas pistol whip some nigga up there, man. That was one of the reasons why I got closed. But I ended up canceling shit. They pistol whipped the fuck out some nigga over at the Lake Mary. Beat the shit out that nigga. Some nigga got pistol whipped because I guess he was hollering at some other nigga chick. And they just pistol whipped the shit out that nigga. That nigga got pistol whipped by like 2-3 niggas. And so the police came in there, shut the whole motherfucking thing down. I'm like, man, why y'all ruin this shit, man? We over there getting that, man. I got the paper out, the pen, collecting
Yeah, that was
Like, again, that's what the lake was about.
Actually,
The lake was
back
about
then,
getting them numbers.
yeah, well, back then, back then, you used to have to put in real work. You know, we couldn't pull out no cell phones and be like, "What's your cell phone number?" We used to be like, "Here go my pager number.
I got
Call
my pager.
me." Yeah, so yeah, it is what it is. All right, hey, well, Kelly, I appreciate you being here, bro. So you welcome here anytime, man.
For sure. Appreciate that, family. Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Simultaneously, and it's that Clarissa trying to prove herself based upon her being sexually assaulted as an adolescent. In my opinion, did that happen?
Don't say that. Don't say
Okay.
that. All right, bro.
All right, bro. Bye, fam.
All right.